Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video I'm going to talk to you about the Baker Act and specifically what can be done, if anything, when your loved one has been ordered into a state mental health facility. So just lately we've had a number of calls from families whose loved ones have been ordered into a state hospital and they have been there for a significant period of time. I think one case was a year, another one was a year and a half. And what that means is not just that the person had a hearing, but it sounds like they would have had more than one hearing, because typically the facility, the state, cannot detain somebody for more than 6 months at any one time, but they can petition for an extension up to another 6 months. So I suspect in at least one of these cases there's been 2 hearings, and in the other one potentially 3. And so when a judge has reviewed a case twice, 3 times, and now you want to get your loved one out, I would say that is a very, very steep hill to climb. It is very difficult to get somebody out of that kind of facility. Now, it's not impossible. Now, in other videos, I've told you that it typically takes me 1 to 2 days to get somebody out of a Baker Act facility, and that's before the court has issued any type of order. That's the average. Sometimes it's the same day, and occasionally it drags on 4 or 5 days if I get a facility that decides to fight and wants to have a hearing because they want to keep the person potentially up to another 6 months. I've also had cases where somebody was within the first 6 months of a placement order. They were already in the state hospital and I was able to get them out. But those cases took 3, 4, I think 5 weeks to get resolved before we got the person out. But in these cases where we have somebody who has been there for such a long period of time, where there has been such significant judicial review, meaning there has been more than 1 hearing, 2, 3 hearings, where the person has been represented presumably by the public defender's office, and now the family says, we don't want him to be there. And I completely understand why you wouldn't want him to be there, because as I've said in the past, if you allow the state to take care of your loved one, if you ever get him back, and that's a big if, you won't like what you see. You won't like the results, which is why I say to you, if your loved one is suffering from a substance use or mental health disorder, it's your responsibility to make sure they get the help they need. Because if you let the state do it, this is what can happen. And apparently, in at least one of the cases, they hired a lawyer who went and filed a habeas petition. I don't know what they were thinking. I'm not here to cast aspersions or poo-poo another lawyer. I can't read their mind. But when somebody's been there for 18 months, unless there's some significant illegal action that has taken place, I don't think I would consider this a habeas case. I think that other options lay on the table. I think there are other things that can be done that we would do, but having handled, I think, close to 500 of these cases now and spoken to thousands of families and even had my own family member Baker acted, there are just ways that we handle the cases that, with all due respects to my colleagues, they don't do. And I suspect also what happened is that one of the families hired a cheap lawyer who went and filed something that was never going to be successful, ever. And so, look, this is why I am so adamant in just about every video I put out that the time to fight to get your loved one out is right now. Don't wait. If you wait, then you run the risk that something like this can happen. And I will tell you, the volume of calls coming from families whose loved ones are now in a state hospital and have been there for a significant period of time is increasing, which tells me that more and more people are getting stuck and more people are not getting the representation that they need. So I want to share this with you because if you need help, look, if your loved one's already in a state hospital, can we help you? Yes. But I think that we would want to review all of the documents, all of the pleadings, all of the court orders before we even tell you whether or not we can help you. And I'm a straight shooter. If I can't help you, I'm going to tell you. I can't help you. I don't want your case. I can't get you what you need. If I think that we can, then I'll tell you that too, and then you can decide if you want us. But these are complicated cases, and when the state has your loved one, they don't want to let go. They don't want to let go. So with that said, I appreciate you tuning in. If you've got a loved one that has a substance use mental health disorder, I can help you. My team can help you. If you've got a loved one who is in a Baker Act facility and you want to fight to get them out, and you understand that obviously failing to do so runs the risk of something horrible happening to them, then that's a conversation we want to have with you. So I appreciate you tuning in. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel, because I'm trying to put out a video almost every single day so that you and your family can get the information you need and you don't have to call me to get it. So with that said, thanks for tuning in. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.